Hey golfers, I'm Drew Mahowald of Second Swing Golf, joined by Chris Voshall at, well, this is a new location, Chris. So we are at the Standard Club on the driving range with the Foundry behind me. So Chris, obviously this is Mizuno's brand new facility. Talk to me about what you guys are able to do here with this facility.
Yeah, this has been awesome. We just opened this up back in April. We call this our Mizuno Research and Performance Center, also known as the Foundry. This is our first really consumer-facing place to come get fit, as well as do all of our internal robotic testing, and really just the house of Mizuno Golf right now. So inside, we'll show you a lot of cool things. We'll show you our build shop, we'll show you our robot, we'll show you our Swing DNA lab, and all the things that make up the Foundry. So we're really excited about it.
Let's go check it out then.
Absolutely, let's see.
Oh, wow. Look at this. Okay, so you mentioned everything from fittings, testing. I actually see a putting green over here, so why don't we just start there?
Absolutely.
You got a putting green, you got putters on the wall, and I imagine this is also like, putter fittings can take place here.
Absolutely. So it's funny, with Mizuno, most people don't think of us as a putter company, but it's amazing what we've done with our forging process, with our M-Craft, our Moe line, our M-Craft X line. So over here, we'll do a full range of putter fitting. We've got our M-Craft X components right here where you can mix and match and try everything. What we're standing on right here is a putt view. So we've got the projection here where this is all a 3D printed surface where we can project the actual break on each of these, so you can help actually work on your start lines and work on your pace and stuff like that. We have right here the Sam Putt Lab where we can do some measurements, do some fittings on that. We also have a Quintech as well in our research and development side. A little bit more, detailed, so we'll use that in a lot of our development side. But here is just a great place to get dialed in for any of our Mizuno putters.
Yeah, you got the whole lineup behind you here, and as you mentioned, this is the really cool part too about this M-Craft X lineup is that you can switch out the club head shape and weights and stuff, which is really cool, and to see that in action obviously has to be really nice for your team here too.
Absolutely, and it allows us to get some instant changing. So like with driver fitting, it's easy to mix and match heads, to the ability to measure some stuff on the SAM and then mix and match, whether that's the toe hang and change that with the different weights, or even the alignment or the offset with the different faces and necks, all while still maintaining that Mizuno feel with those forged parts.
Yeah, that's a really cool advancement I think that Mizuno's made. And speaking of the cool part as we move forward here is sort of the history that's also documented within this whole facility here. So I know I'll let you kind of explain some of that stuff, but there's some pieces, there's some stuff on the walls, there's a lot of really cool elements here that just tell the history of Mizuno.
Absolutely. So as you walk through this, it's really an homage to what we do technology-wise in terms of how we forge golf clubs. So even up on the wall, we've got images from Chuo Koyo, which is our exclusive club forger in Hiroshima, Japan. We've got kind of the steps that are involved in our patented grain flow forging process. A lot of the steps that really ensure that a club feels like a Mizuno, which we take so much pride in. And even that, it kind of bleeds throughout this entire building. If you look around, like you see all the wood placed around the building. That wood is actually imported from Hiroshima, Japan also. Really? It's called a Pika Pika wood. It's very unique where it's actually pressed and fired to hold its durability. Wow. So kind of a cool homage to the Mizuno Japanese history.
That's awesome. And I mean, this is also just really comfortable little lounging area. So I know a part of the process or part of the offerings here is to maybe do a group of people come get fit, where you have maybe someone's hitting their shots out there and a friend or two are in here hanging out watching some golf. We got some snacks. It looks like a pretty cool place to hang out if you're not out here for the golf club.
You're exactly right. It's so funny when people get signed up for fitting here, they rarely come by themselves. They bring their friends, they bring others, and they sit around and kind of take it all in, which is a great spot to do that. And of course, indulge in whatever you want. Yeah, so we walk through here, and this is our tour shop. And I say that because this literally is a recreation of the Mizuno Tour van. Oh, wow. So right here, we've got all the same equipment and the ability to custom build and put something together right here on the spot. So you go through each of the drawers. Obviously, we've got all of our heads, all of our different models. Behind you got different shaft offerings. We have the ability to laser and customize some things if you want some specific stuff for you. And then ultimately all the equipment to get all your specs right. We've got our green machine over here, which is really just the industry standard for getting exactly spot on lofts and lies. Got all of our club prep equipment, including putter bending, wood bending, measurement, cutting, gripping, you name it. It's cool. Honestly, it's been fun because it is just a remake of our tour shop.
Yeah, so the idea, it seems really cool. You go out and get fit, and then in theory, clubs are built right here. Within a day or two, you can go out and play with them.
Absolutely, and it'll gives us the ability too to, you know, if a player's getting fit and they're trying with something of their own and they need to see it adjusted just a little bit, come right in here. We got access to bend or even check a club that they like of their own and you know, measure up some of their specs just to see what works and what doesn't work. So just a lot of things that are nice to have really just on hand.
Yeah. Now, next cool thing I need to see is the robot.
Yes.
Show me where that is.
Absolutely. So walk through this door right here. We call this the nest. It's where the run bird lives within his nest. So here in the nest, this is exciting. This is what we call our T-Rex. This is a one-of-a-kind swing robot that we had specifically designed for Mizuno. So I say it's different, it's one of a kind because it does some really unique things. First off, obviously it hits golf balls. Second, if you see back behind us, it can actually hit baseballs as well. So we can adjust this and test some other multi-sport things. But the ability to do all of our testing right here on a massive range is huge. And one of the biggest things we did here as we moved to the standard club is we situated it so that we can have well over 300 yards of carry as well. With modern ball testing, modern head speed, all that stuff, you've got to have the ability to do that. So here, this is really the home of where we do all of our testing globally. You know, this is a little bit better execution than what we have in Japan, which is a little bit smaller scale.
That and, you know, if Keith Mitchell comes out here, you also need, you know, 300 plus yards.
Absolutely, right?
So with this robot, how specific can you make the swing? Like, can you have it you know, make contact in certain different parts of the face? Or I guess how much fine tuning can you do with it?
Absolutely, and this is all about fine tuning every little bit. So this robot in particular has a shoulder motor, called a wrist motor, and a rotational motor as well. It gives us the ability to dial in to within well under a 1/10 of a degree on any of those different axes. So with that, we can dial in the power, the time, all those things to deliver, where we can literally make somebody swing and program that into here. The only thing it can't do is come off plane. Obviously, it stays on plane very well. Other than that, we have full control over everything. And it's all dialed in very precisely on an XYZ table that allows us to dial in the center impact and then let us test whether it be for MOI, dispersion, core area, whatever, the very specific dimensions on the face where we do off-center test hitting.
Wow, that's an impressive machine.
It's pretty cool. And then I love the ability to test a rope like a baseball bat. I know that sounds silly, but with Mizuno, we lean so heavily with all of our other divisions and all the research that we've done with material usage. You know, ultimately a bat's about how far can it go as well. If we can learn some things from other divisions, that's great. And if we can test them all in a very similar environment, we can trust that data better.
Wow, that's fascinating. That's really cool. Well, I think we have one more room we got to see.
Yes.
So show me where that is.
Absolutely. So we're going to cut back through here to the Swing DNA lab.
Sweet.
Okay. All right. So this is the Swing DNA lab. This is where, when you book a fitting with the Foundry, this is where you really are going to be the hub of everything.
Sure.
With here, we do a lot of stuff. You know, we obviously have our Swing DNA that we measure with our shaft optimizer, where we get tons of different data points. We can display all those, give you recommendations. TrackMan, measuring everything we do. All the different heads to hit, you can see all those. But to me, one of the most impressive things is actually our shaft wall. If you walk back here, just look at how many different options we have. And being that this is kind of the home of Mizuno fitting, we didn't want there to be a lot of assumptions. We want you to be able to test and confirm every single thing. So when I start opening this up and you start looking back behind here, we start with iron shafts.
Oh my goodness.
Get some driver shafts, get some 3-wood shafts, get some hybrid shafts. I mean, this is 4 layers deep, over 800 different options here. So you can mix and match and try all those. So again, it's all about testing, measuring data, and confirming.
And then another obviously really cool piece of this too is that you can see the ball fly too. So you can see the ball fly out onto that range we talked about already.
Absolutely.
That's a complete package as far as the club fitting is concerned.
For sure. You know, obviously there's so much great stuff you can measure indoor. We still love the confirmation, be able to see a little bit of height as well, just so you can understand what does 100 feet look like to you. And, you know, it just one little added level of confidence for a player, especially when you're testing all these different options.
Yeah, I mean, this has been a sweet look at this brand new awesome facility. I think, you know, if there was somebody watching this right now, they're like, I'm a Mizuno fan. What would you tell them about coming here and seeing this and experiencing it for themselves?
You know, obviously this is the everything that we have that we could throw at a fitting. With our Swing DNA software, you can get tons of good fittings at a bunch of different places and test with our Swing DNA. But ultimately, if you want to visit MizunoFoundry.com and come here and get kind of dialed in with everything, we'd be happy to have you. But ultimately, all of it runs off of our shaft optimizer. That's the key that we measure everything. And with that, your fitting is going to be pretty dialed in.
Awesome. Well, Chris, thank you so much for the tour. This place looks awesome. We appreciate your time here.
Awesome. Thanks, Drew.